Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Real Talk with Coach Sherri, and this channel is about workforce development, career readiness, and entrepreneurship. But most of all, it is about self-awareness and developing your self-awareness so that you can show up in your best self wherever you go and whatever you do, because that is what's most important. Today, you guys, I am waiting for my daughter. She is at the dentist, and this video is going to be about preparing your student for college during COVID. So, before a student goes away to school, especially if they're going to live on campus, they have to make sure they have all their medical records in order. All of their shots must be up to date, just everything. And there's just, the medical release forms and things of that nature that the school provides for you that you have to have filled out by yourself as well as the physician. Well, her doctor's office is not officially open like that. And luckily, we have a really good track record with them, and they're familiar with her, and she has been very healthy up to this point and still is. And so when I was calling them, I left messages. They reached back out and they did a virtual physical for her, and they allowed her to come into the office to get a couple of shots that she needed. And I was so grateful because those medical forms were due to her school yesterday, actually. And so we were able to get them done in a timely manner. And I'm just looking out for her. But, it's still up in the air. I mean, her school is 4 hours away. And so she definitely was going to live on campus. And it's an amazing school, a great opportunity. We were so proud of her for, getting in. She's so happy. She had her roommate. Her roommate is from Massachusetts. They've been communicating. They're on a lot of different groups with her school and the surrounding schools. A lot of the students are getting to know each other, excited about the freshman year, and, just all the things to anticipate for a new beginning. And then, of course, this happens. And now everything is very uncertain, but we are still moving forward as if. However, I'm not sure if the as if is going to be what we had thought it would be before this all started. So we had a town hall meeting with the school last week, and they were giving us an update on the state of the campus. And every college and university has a different process of how they are handling COVID and how the students will return to school. Some campuses are going to be wide open. Some campuses are just allowing freshmen and seniors to come back. Some campuses are going to be totally virtual. Her campus is still uncertain. So at the town hall meeting, they said they have two scenarios. One scenario is to have 500 students only on campus, living on campus and taking classes in person on campus. 500 out of almost 2,500 students. Now, not every student that goes to college and university lives on campus. Some of them are from the area, and so they're able to commute, and they have, then they have some that may live in apartments, especially upperclassmen. And they can either get an apartment through the school or on their own. And a lot of times they may have jobs as well, and they're just, going to school in that way. Well, as a freshman, especially as a freshman that lives 4 hours away, my daughter's goal was to live on campus. That was the plan. And so now they're saying 500. I'm not sure how they were going to pick the 500. I'm pretty sure my daughter will be one of the 500 if that's the case or the route we're going to take. That's one scenario. And then they would start in August and end in November and start back up in February. Okay? Just to kind of give things time to build up and die back down. The other scenario is for everyone to be virtual. So everyone would just stay put wherever they're from. And if they need help with technology or anything like that, I believe the school will be prepared to help them or assist with that. I'm not quite sure. I don't think they're quite sure either, because that might look real crazy. And the students would just, do it that way. And so with the tuition, and the tuition is extraordinary. It's around $54,000. And so if they stayed at home, they wouldn't have to pay room and board, but they still would have to pay at least $40,000, I would think, something like that, which is a lot, especially for freshman year, taking just the basic classes without the campus experience. Because the whole point of going away to school or to school or whatever, in a lot of instances, is that experience, that connection, that network, that whole part of it is part of the whole package. And so I don't know, I'm on the fence about that. I don't prefer that second scenario. I don't prefer the first scenario either, because to me, with 500 students only on campus, it's still not going to give you that rich experience. So my thing is, why half step it and not wait until we get a grip, a handle, a better understanding of how we really are moving forward in this new normal? So they said if a student defers, and a deferment is something that's possible. When I graduated undergrad, I deferred going to law school because I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do and what that was going to look like. So I deferred it for a year. I didn't go even after that year, but I was wondering what deferment would look like for them. So they said if a student defers, typically, if they take, let's call it a gap year, you typically would do an internship, an apprenticeship. You may do some type of volunteer work, Peace Corps type work, or something like that. And that would, secure your spot. So the next year after you've had that amazing experience, you can come back to campus and continue on as a regular student. But they said if you take a deferred acceptance and go and take classes at another school, then like a community college or something like that, then you would have to basically kind of reapply as a transfer student. So I'm actually going to be looking closer at their rules and regulations, or whatever, their document, to see, maybe if she took 1 or 2 classes, because I know in the summertime, a lot of college students will take classes at the community college, the core classes, and they don't have to come back as a transfer student. Those 1 or 2 classes that they had taken, 3 to 6 credits, just transfers in with them with no problem. So I'm going to see if that could be the situation. I'm not saying she's going to carry a full load if she goes to a local school here online, but definitely take a couple of classes. I wouldn't want her to get out of sync with being in class, taking, having assignments and things like that. So I think it's important for her to go to school somewhere. But then we're also looking into other opportunities similar to like a Peace Corps, something through AmeriCorps that she could possibly do to help her gain more experiences, something for her to give back. But it's just a lot of decisions to have to make, as well as continuously moving forward as if. Because no one knows exactly where this will go, where it will end, how it will end, what it will look like. And so as a parent, we don't want to just stop and pause and say, nothing's going to happen. I mean, regardless, if she goes away to school or not, we still have to have a plan in place. It just can't be idle. She just can't not do anything. So I know that there's so many other parents, especially with upcoming freshmen, that are in the same boat. And I'm not new to this. I have 2 others that are in college as well. So I know what freshman year looks like. I know what the beginning looks like. And the fact that hers looks totally different is really challenging. My 2 oldest graduated from 2 different high schools. My son graduated from a traditional high school, and his high school graduation was huge. You know, thousands of people were there. It was massive. They had to have it at the convention center. My daughter went to a private school, a private Christian school, and there were like 73 students in her graduating class, and and she was the only African-American female as well that graduated in that class. But it was a much smaller graduation. They had it in a, you know, beautiful facility inside of the school, by the chapel. Well, not the chapel, the church. It was a Christian school. And, you know, and it was elegant. It was in the evening, and it was just a really elegant, quiet kind of graduation. They were able to really customize each, you know, everything for each of the students. You know, when they went across the stage, they had a mini slideshow for each student, because it was only 73 students. My youngest went to graduated from a public school, and it was going to be thousands like my son, but it was going to be even more. I mean, you know, her environment was was completely different, and I was really looking forward to it. I knew it was going to be turned up, but it wasn't like that. I mean, she had to have hers on television. They recorded it, and we watched it on TV. And then the next day we did a drive-through, like a parade almost, where she picked up her diploma. And that was her experience. So all three of my children had totally different experiences. However, starting their freshman year of college, my oldest and my center child had the same experience, just a traditional experience. You know, there was no hiccups, no thoughts, there was not a situation. It was just, you know, they selected who their roommates were going to be in advance. They connected with their roommates. My daughter and her roommate went shopping, you know, before school started, so that their room could be matched and hooked up. You know how girls do it. My son and his best friend from high school ended up being roommates, and now this, you know, here we are with this situation. Nothing like it. Because they said even with 500 students on campus, if that is the route that they'll go, they'll all have singles. No one will have a roommate, which is understandable. They were talking about how they were, you know, reconfiguring things in the cafeteria, and it's just, even if you are one of the 500, it just doesn't sound like a rich experience, other than being away from home and being on a beautiful campus, but with hardly anyone there. So we're still just preparing as if, moving forward either way. So we'll be prepared for whatever it is. You know, it's like we're in a room, it's a dark room, and the light switch is somewhere. It's not right there when you open the door. So you have to really go in and look for it. And we're looking for that light switch. So for all the parents who are in the same boat as I am, whether it's your first child going away to college, your second, your third child, whatever it is, trust me, I understand. We all are in this boat together. We're in this together. And all I can say in regards to advice is to keep moving forward as if. You know, I don't want to rain on her parade, but it's going to be different. I was hoping to take you guys on a college dorm haul. And I still may, you just don't know, but I don't think it's going to be right now. So yeah, this new norm is totally different, unexpected, and it's just different. I don't even know what else to say. But at any rate, you guys, if you have a student that is in college or just a freshman starting their freshman year, leave a comment down below. What are some of the things that you're doing, and how are you adjusting with your student during this time? If you're new to this channel, I invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell for videos when I post them. If you have been rocking with me, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. Oh, this is awesome. And I really thank all of you who leave comments, because I love reading them. It really inspires me to continue to do what I do. If you think someone else needed to hear this, be sure to share this video, like this video. And you know what? Until we speak again, please remember to stay safe, because this has been Real Talk with Coach Sherri.